I was just thinking about perspective and how important perspective is on how we look at the world and the decisions we make and the things we do. And I guess another way to think about this is there's so much we just don't know. And we make decisions based on what we do know, and so we're not always making the best decisions. And a good example of this would be, okay, I recently changed shifts. I went from, 5 years on second shift to first shift, and that made a really big difference for me personally in terms of my mood and energy level and a lot of things. On first shift, I wake up, the alarm clock wakes me up at 5 in the morning, and I generally get up about 15 minutes after I should have, and then I'm just nonstop the rest of the day busy. On second shift, I would wake up whenever I woke up and go work out, eat a healthy breakfast, and then during that time figure out what I had to do for the day, and then as soon as I finished working out, I'd start on whatever project. After a few hours of that, I'd stop, get ready, go to work, come home from work, go to sleep. And it was amazing how much more productive I was on second shift than first shift. And because I worked second shift and I got to experience that, I'm aware of how much more relaxed and laid back life can be and how much more productive I can be just in that state of mind, and how much better it is to be in that state of mind. And I don't know, it's complicated. This whole thing's complicated, but I have that perspective of having experienced that, so therefore I know I need to make changes in my life now to help me get back to that place mentally. And how many people go through their whole life never having worked anything but first shift and never having done anything except for get up, and then they're just nonstop the rest of the day. Now, I know a lot of people on first shift, normal people that work normal hours, I've heard many of them say that they like to get up a couple of hours early and just to relax in the morning, drink their coffee, read their paper, whatever, and that made things better for them. Well, essentially they were doing what I was doing on second shift. They were just relaxed the first few hours and wrapping their head around what they were going to do for the rest of the day. And I know years ago I used to work out in the mornings. I was on first shift many years ago, and I would get up an hour early and work out before work. Well, that's not really an option now because I've got an hour commute, so I'm already getting up at 5 in the morning. But that's what I need to work toward, is getting back to that, getting up, getting motivated, and really thinking about what I had to do for the day. Versus now, I'm just getting up nonstop and then wide open. My energy's not there, my focus is not there, and I'm not nearly as productive. But again, this comes back to perspective. I'm lucky enough to know this, so therefore I can work toward this. And I was thinking about how that affected us in so many ways. Not just work and schedule, but another good example is money. Okay, I just paid off my house, and right now essentially I'm debt free. And I'm really excited about that. I am super excited about that. Okay, well, I was at a point 10 years ago where I was just that close to being debt free then. But it didn't happen. The economy fell through. I had a lot of health problems. Plant I worked at shut down, lost my job. You name it, it happened. I mean, it's just one of those times. Now, fortunately, being that close to being debt free then, I was able to get over all my health issues without having to stress over finances. Losing my job, I mean, it sucked, but it wasn't that big of a deal because I was in a really good place with my personal finances. Well, knowing that, once I was able to get back on my feet, get things going again, that was my first priority, was to get back to that position financially and being debt free. All right, I've got a few little things to take care of now. I've got to write the government a nice big check today. But other than that, I am debt free right now. So having that perspective of seeing that before helped me. It was motivation for me. I knew how good life is debt free and just what it does for you mentally. I mean, it's hard to describe. I'm going to do a video just on being debt free and what it does for you mentally. Okay, at the same time, there's so many people out there that have never experienced anything but, in their adult life anyway, being in debt. They don't know there's another way. They know, but they can't even picture it. I mean, something comes up that they're not expecting, they automatically just reach for the credit card. You know, they need a new set of tires for their car. They automatically reach for the credit card. Well, most people are so far in debt that they don't really have a choice, okay? And they stay in debt for that reason, because they don't really know they have a choice. Something comes up, they have to use a credit card. They're either right back in debt or, further in debt, so that they don't realize that there is another way. They've never known another way. Well, that's their perspective. And in this case, I was lucky enough to be where I was at one time financially. So I knew there was another way. So I knew that's a really great place to be. And that was my motivation over the last few years, to get my house paid off, to get out of debt, and to not go into debt for things I wanted. Okay, so just knowing that was how much better of a place that was motivated me to want to get there, to make the sacrifices now in order to get there. And what all this made me realize is that, okay, I'm constantly working on personal improvement, looking for new ways to improve, trying to improve. That's what my channel's about. And then sharing with you whatever I learn, or anything I can along this journey. Well, the information I'm looking for, and I'm always looking for new information, new ideas, new thoughts. I need to focus on people that can give me a different perspective rather than just facts. Facts are not enough to really help you make changes. I mean, I could sit here and preach to you how great it is to be debt free. Or, excuse me, I could explain to you the steps you need to go through to be debt free. But it's not going to motivate you. Just knowing how is not motivation for you. motivation comes from me basically selling you on an idea. And I hate that term because it sounds, I don't know, it sounds so negative. But you have to be convinced that that's such a good place to be that then you're willing to make the sacrifices to make it happen. So, for me personally, I want to look toward people that are able to give me that perspective that I don't have. That knowledge that they gained from experience that, I don't even know it exists. I don't even know enough to know that there's a different way of looking at whatever. So I need to look toward people that can give me that perspective, because that's what's going to motivate me to want to make whatever change and stick with it and see it through. And it also occurred to me that whenever I'm doing a video, this is about me trying to improve, but I'm also trying to help all of y'all also. So I need to not just give the facts, but also the perspective. And I think that's what's going to help anybody watching this, more so than just the facts, is the perspective. The new way of thinking about something, and a new way to visualize things, your new way to visualize yourself in the future. Anyway, I know it's complicated and it's hard to describe this and put into words, but anyway, I just thought that's kind of interesting and just wanted to share that. Have a good day.